People know how it all goes. A network of them. Yet people pretend. Silence board. I get so many threats. I have done for years. Operates covert, unless it's direct harassment and stalking. It's fact as well. The Templars, all children either abducted or from children's homes and working class families. They believe the cabal are going to save them, not realising they're getting ready a new generation to replace them. The cabal planned from the onset to blame the Templars for the agenda and for the call and an inch into World War III. They want to write contemporary histories to make them look innocent and blame the Templars and blame the innocent like me. None of it's to do with me or anyone else in the proletariat. My life, my histories, my lines. We are anchored with no types all the way through, and we do not accept any form of trauma practices and nor blood sacrificial ways. It's actually my lines, the only ones that do, and we exist in every nation, and yet we are the ones that they want to blame for what the cabal formed by the institutions of the Vatican, the crowns, the Masonic, the Zionists, and any similar. All the trauma and blood sacrificial ways are exclusively their histories and their creations. Martin chose them 30 years ago. He has been silent, and only in the recent year truth coming out. And now I'm being told and threatened again that they are going to use him as the pawn to publicly call me a liar and to denounce my babies. Oh, God. All they've done is made me cry. It's bad enough I lost my dad. And he said to me today, by their covert methods, they are going to have me seen as a deceiver, mentally bereft, a fantasist. I got accused of all sorts, and they're going to accuse me of all sorts. Yeah. And he said they're going to get Martin to actually deliver publicly to denounce me and denounce my babies and to denounce what happened 30 years ago. They said that they're going to make out that his scars were gained from an accident of some kind, and try and blame me somehow, try and lay at my feet still when it's got nothing to do with me. Because I found out 30 years later what happened to him, that they tortured him and tried to burn him alive. I did not know 30 years ago what happened to him. So while that was being done to him, they sent men out to witness where I worked, in ski masks, who manhandled me, pinned me down, traumatized me, threatened me, and literally removed my babies there on the office floor. And even now, 30 years later, because I've been speaking out since I've been told the truth of what happened to Martin, they are still going to want to try and turn it around and put it, blame me, and they can't blame me. Because I'm a northern working class woman from just a normal conventional family. I was working a witness, secluded office, not affecting anyone. They came into my life. I had not even been to London in my life until I was in my 30s, and that is fact. I had not even been abroad until my late 20s, again, fact. So how are they going to blame me? You know, I'm getting so much shit, and it's being allowed. It's actually being allowed. And Martin's silence empowers them. They said to me the other week, the old biddy's a paedophile, because everyone knows that, and that he is actually a gentrophile. I got upset. I said, perfect union made in hell then, isn't it? But that's what they do. That's the type of things they say to me when they harass me, to upset me. You know, I'm alone in all this. I literally am alone. And I've not ever been allowed any truth and no justice. And his own silence locks that as well. So in turn it impacts on my life again in how this operates. And the only one who was innocent was me. The only mistake I made 30 years ago, I stupidly called off my wedding. I stupidly fell in love with a man who I pity what happened to him. I didn't even know what happened to him. And when I got told over the past year the truth of what happened to him, they then tried to retract it because of my reaction. I was raging and I was crying because it's horrendous. It truly is horrendous, and people do not know the half of it. And the truth is, people don't want to know. They think just as long as it doesn't happen to them. And it rolls. Silence empowers the cabal. Ignorance empowers the cabal. This is why they've been able to get away with raping children for not decades, not centuries, but for thousands of years in their predecessors. People have allowed it. People have enabled it. Silence bought, ignorance justified on things that should not ever be justified. And yeah, I'm pretty much alone in this. I'm getting more shit and more horrible things said and threats made to me. And it's fact, those from the UK side of the cabal, they said to me they want to put me in the sleeping bag and take me in an RAF plane, and the sleeping bag weighted with a grindstone so they can drop me in the Channel Sea and no one will ever find me and know what happened to me. That's the type of things they say to me. And this has gone on years, absolutely years. And yeah, what do you say? You know, the only one who protected me was me. When my babies got killed, not to see the light of day 30 years ago, I dealt with that alone. I dealt with it all alone. And like I said, I pity what happened to Martin. I didn't even know what happened to him, and I tried to find him. But to find out now, today, that they're going to ask him to publicly call me a liar, and to say, to denounce my babies, and to make out, yeah, they've said quite a few things, yeah, but I'll tell you now, I will call them liars publicly, and if he does that to me, I am going to call him a liar too. It's, I've been on my own a long time, and this is why I'm very independent, because I do everything myself, literally everything. I don't have a keeper, and I would not permit it either because of how it operates on entrapment. It's so if he does that to me, what they want him to do, that I got told today, he's an arsehole. That's what it comes down to. If he publicly calls me a liar, and if he denounces my babies that got murdered 30 years ago, and he does it willing for the cabal, whether it be the Vatican, the Crowns, the Masonic, the Zionists, or any of them, if he willingly lies about me publicly, when I was the only innocent one, I was the only one that didn't snitch on him. I was the only one. His own circle snitched on him. The cabal were the ones who tried to burn him. And yet he works for them. So how fucking Stockholm Syndrome is he now? The whole thing is vile. It's screwed up. And they are planning to blame the Templars for the agenda and everything. And they're fools because the cabal operate to format. They did it in histories. They've done it numerous times. And every time those like the Templars fell into the trap. They fell into the trap. And that old woman and her family and the Vatican and the Zionists and the Masonic and Crowns and everything have lied to Martin for years. They've lied to him all the way through, and they are still lying to him. And I don't doubt that anyone around Martin's life, they're lying to them as well, because that's how they function. They blame everyone else for what they do and cause. Many failing to note that they are the ones who are the handlers, the primary handlers, and rape the children. The females and the males of the cabal are all the same. They are all child rapists. But they'll do everything to try and protect their reputations. And as Martin has stood by them for 30 years, he'll stand by them for another 42, and I don't doubt that. I really don't doubt it, because he's already proven it by 30 years. While I have been made to suffer repeatedly for the lies and everything that were not my doing. So the innocent one in the framework is me. Always was, all the way through. And yeah. So if he facilitates that lie for them and publicly calls me a liar, makes out he was burnt another way in an accident, and then denounces my babies and calls me a cracked bitch or anything like that. No, he's honestly a gobshite then. He is truly a gobshite. And he's one of them. That's all it means. At the end of the day, he has become like them. That's what it will come down to in the end. I hate them. I hate the Vatican. I hate the Crowns. I hate the Masonic. And I hate the Zionists. They're evil. They are all evil by their false trauma and blood sacrificial ways. And they use those ideologies to instigate world wars as well. That's how they justify it. And people don't understand this. When you say yes to them, when you say yes, you bring to your own lives what you said yes to. You bring it to your families and you bring it to your children's. Because that's how it operates. They believe no sooner than one says yes, that they, in the cabal of the Vatican, Crown, Zionist, Masonic and all of them, believe then that they own you under their bond system for blood sacrifice. But not only you, but your partner, your children, your family, all to die. People do not understand how it operates. They are thick. They are absolutely thick. And the Templars, the males that joined and served the cabal, fail to understand, why are these wealthy families throwing money at them? Lots and lots and lots and lots of money. It's not just a case to serve them, but also a distraction. The money itself is an entrapment. to control them. They also got them all addicted from a very young age as well, when were trauma bonding them as children. All of them have addictions of one form or another, whether it be alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, or anything else. Fact, and that's how it operates. They really do, the cabal really do control them. This is what people don't understand. So if anyone else enters the frame, say someone else enters and sees Martin, they will see Martin and think he's free. He's actually not, he's imprisoned in mind, because that is how the trauma bonding works. He will play along. He will do anything they say. So will Oliver, so will Paul, so will John, because they are all trauma bonded. They are terrified. They don't know how to live normal lives. The actual concept of them stepping into the real world alone and having to find their own way terrifies them. It actually does terrify them, because they've been trauma bonded and in the clutches of the cabal since they were children. They don't know anything else. If you had to ask them or rely on them to do anything, you couldn't. You couldn't. Because of how it operates. It's a hold on their mind, a hold on their lives. It's entrapment from beginning to end. And the old biddy as well, she wants him as a blood sacrifice. She's that obsessed. She's also fixated over me. The mere fact of a life experience, my life experience, to do with Martin 30 years ago, when we slept in the sleeping bag on the floor and my head on his shoulder, my hand on his heart, our legs entwined. That's real, that happened. And since she found out about it, I've been told recently she requested to sleep with him so she can put her head on his shoulder. She's literally like Single White Female, the film, stealing my life experiences and even trying to redefine what the sleeping bag meant by saying they want to put me in it and drop me in the Channel Sea with a grindstone so I drown. There's something wrong with them. None of them are right in the heads, and yet people around them are pandering this, and they are serving them. They are empowering the cabal, who are fucking nut jobs. They are fucking nut jobs. The concept of normality and conventional life does not register with any of them. Nor does it register with any of those males who have been trauma bonded from children. And yet people expect me, the only innocent one, to tolerate this. No. I'm not tolerating any of it. I am 57 now, and I've had this most of my innocent life. And all the way through my innocent life, I've always said no to any like them on moral grounds. Always. I've avoided them like the plague. And I can turn around and say, I have not once ever harmed an innocent in my whole life. I would not lower myself. I would not stoop so low. Yet they all believe it's okay to hurt me. And a lot of them have been made very wealthy targeting me, let me tell you. Because that's how they get their money, part of how it operates. Targeting other people, other families, civilians, adults, children, families. People don't even understand how this goes. It's all called divide, rule and conquer, and it's being rolled out thick and fast on everyone. So yeah, what I got told today, if Martin goes ahead for them and publicly says that he was scarred in an accident and I'm a liar and he denounces my babies, I'm just going to say to him, thank you for nothing. Thank you for nothing. No return on the return. Bastard. Because the thing is, the only one who protected me and the only one who protected my line was me. All the way through. Me. And I managed to do it alone. while he has his own little network, and so does the old cow and the Vatican and the other crowns, and even Oliver's got his own little network going, and the Masonic, like I said, and the Zionists. That's how they operate. Networks of people, little spineless gobshites, their hands out, all saying, gimme, 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 wanting more money, more money, more money. It's over innocent life as well, because of how the agenda operates. So I back down to no person. I don't care who the fuck they are. And I really don't. I have nothing to lose. My babies were murdered 30 years ago, so I really have nothing to lose. Don't have a pot to piss in anyway, and I hate money. I actually really do hate money. Because what this agenda proves, the very thing that I hate, is how people are willing to lie and harm the innocent for a price. And that's how the network functions. That's how the agenda functions. Why? Oh, yeah, what'd you do? What'd you do? Cried my eyes out. That's all they've done, is upset me since they came here. And I'm not interested. That's basically what it comes down to. I'm not interested. And the old biddy, she turned round and said, how is the half broken in him? How? Wait 42 years and it dissipates from him. Literally does. Because on the close of the timeline, all of us are not a half as we pass. We are only ourselves. And so 42 years from now, the half will not be in him, and each and all of us will be what's called subject to the full laws of the heavens. Every single one of us. I'm going to be okay. I'll pass through every one of them very easily. But each of them will be their own truths in the soul. And that's how the era closes. Not that people in the general populace know about any of this or even understand it. Most would turn around and say, oh God, bullshit. That part actually isn't. There's 100,000 year era coming to a close. Each religion thinks it's their era, but no, they are within the timeline of it. There's been many religions already gone. Like I said, there's been not hundreds of religions, but thousands. Most of them have already gone, and this lot are timelining themselves as well. Yeah. Because of those child-raping, false trauma and blood sacrificial ways. Damning their own souls. And truth is, what do heavens do to their souls? The moment their souls try to reach their timelines to pass through the heavens, they wipe them out faster than the speed of light. Heavens do not like child rapists, or murderers, or genocidal maniacs. And the thing is, those cabal want to blame everyone else for how the heavens respond to them, failing to realise it's the truths in their own souls they cannot displace, because they are their own souls. Respond to their very souls. And it really is over with as fast as the speed of light. That's why in their theories the false rituals in this realm of life are futile. Futile. Because they can only function within this time element of this realm. They can't cope with the time factor to do with the heavens, and it is the speed of light. The heavens respond, and they are gone faster than the speed of light in soul. I got told as well that Martin forgave them for trying to burn him, and he forgave them over my babies. You see, the problem is Martin can't forgive them over my babies. He can't. Because I was the one who was carrying them in my body, my babies. And I don't forgive them. I do not forgive any of them in the network or the cabal. I do not forgive the Vatican. I do not forgive the Crowns. I do not forgive the Masonic. I do not forgive the Zionists. None of them who, in the chain of events that resulted in the murder of my babies and every crime that has ever been done to my innocent life, I'm not going to forgive any of them. And the thing is, people do not understand. I am the innocent in this and the victim. And I hold implicit right to truth and justice, and I am denied that in life. So heavens will give it and grant my soul it over their souls. I am not obliged to forgive them. You see, many people who are hypocrites in life turn around and say, when someone will not forgive, they then blame the innocent for the crime that was done to them, failing to realise, I did not invite what got done to me. I did not ask for it. I did not cause my babies to be killed. I didn't even know about any of this. I did not even know how it operated. I didn't even know about those evil false ways. I only found out all of that by the research. I am not obliged to forgive. He chose her over me. That part doesn't bother me. It did upset me because he chose psychopathic paedophiles and wealthy families over me, an innocent poor woman. So that doesn't say anything about me. That says more about him. And so do I think he's going to follow this order that I've been told about today, where they want to make out that he's going to publicly speak and call me a liar, say he got scarred by an accident and my babies he's going to denounce? I think he will. I think he will follow that order. And I think he will publicly call me a liar. I think he will lie and say he was burned by an accident. I think he will lie and say he will denounce my babies. I think he's really going to do it. So I've been warned today. I've been warned and threatened and harassed. What's going to happen? And do I think he's going to follow that order? Yes, I do. I do. Because they're going to try and silence me. And because he's the other half of what happened 30 years ago, they believe that will silence me. And if he does that to me, I'm just going to call him a cunt and a lying bastard. And I will. Like I call them liars, because they are liars. They are pure evil, all of them. The shit that's been done to me. So if he does that, I don't want to ever know him. I don't want to ever see him. So the next 42 years, he can be assured he ain't going to see me. He's not even going to hear from me. I am going to stay away from him. And I'm certainly going to stay away from that cabal lot. Because they are psychotic and unhinged. They're not right in the head. None of them. None of them. They trauma bond their own fucking children, for Christ's sake. So, and they've been doing that for thousands of years. Raping their own children as well. So no wonder they're all fucked up. So, yeah, I'm alone in this. And I'm not afraid. So, I'm just getting ready to be called a liar publicly. Because they told me that's what's coming. Fuck him. Fuck all of them. And fuck Martin. Because if he does that to me, he is a gobshite.